Hello everyone, you read the title of the video, so let's get straight into it. I've already covered pretty much all the basics of switch X in my previous guides, so now let's talk about how to master the swag X in Sunbreak's master rank. With Sunbreak we have a few new moves at our disposal, all of which will be of very good use. The most impactful move to switch X's arsenal is for sure the elemental burst counter. In my video about all wirebug moves and switch skills, I talk in detail about it, so if you have questions about any of the moves, be sure to check my other videos out as well. Almost every single fight in Sunbreak should be initiated with the EBC. There's almost no reason to use anything else because it is so easy to counter a monster's roar. It deals massive damage right away and immediately puts you into amp state, which is your main goal in the beginning of the fight, getting to amp state as quickly as possible to boost your DPS and gain access to ZSD if you're running it. The monsters are way quicker in Master Rank. The higher you are, the more crack these guys consume. This is why I once again have to pledge for attacking in sword mode, evading and moving around in X mode, because as a wise man always says, the sword mode dodge roll is bad for your spine. But seriously, you are way more mobile in X mode, so make use of it, please. And make the transitions fluent by using the fading slashes. Furthermore, since Rise introduced the ultimate Switch X skill for which all Switch X masters have their own shrine devoted to its supreme effects, it is illegal to play Swags without Rapid Morph. It boosts damage of morph attacks by 20% and speeds them up by 30%. This single-handedly defined the meta and the DPS chains for Switch X, which is this one right here in case you haven't seen my other videos, which you should really do if you like this one. But I digress quite a bit far from what I was talking about, the monsters. To better deal with the larger threats we are facing, we are also given the Wire Step, an evasive wirebug move with a lot of iframes that repositions you to either the left or right to flank the monster. It works perfectly with skills like Hellfire Cloak and Adrenaline Rush, so with the correct skills equipped, this move enhances your DPS as well as your survivability. Coming back to amp meter buildup, if you don't have the possibility to use the counter because the monster is constantly stunned by how you tear it apart with an exhaust file switch X, we have the 2-stage morph slash, and it is exactly as advertised. A move consisting of 2 stages, which boosts your amp meter by a huge chunk and restores a lot of switch gauge as well. If you simply can't wait to be above the threshold of your switch gauge again to get to sword mode, you can also use the first stage to always and at any time get into sword mode. You will use this move a lot, as it also benefits from the rapid morph skill. It replaces the wide swing, which is just horrible in Rise to be honest, and I never use it. Funny enough though, it was part of the best DPS chain back in World and Iceborne. Oh, how times change. Last but not least, we have the Rampage deco. There are a few interesting ones, but I mostly use the one specifically for Switch X, the file boost. First of all, it enhances the amount of switch gauge you regain when performing a morph attack from sword to X mode, as well as giving these move file effects. So how's the general plan for a hunt in Master Rank, especially going towards the endgame and bigger threats? You start with a counter to get into amp state. You wail at the monster as much as possible while fluently combining hard-hitting sword attacks with evasive maneuvers in X mode to not get hit and look incredibly stylish until you break the monster's legs and it falls over. You then proceed with the optimal DPS combo for maximum damage, or the 2-stage morph slash to regain switch gauge, or build amp meter until it gets up again. Or it doesn't. In the clip in the background you can see really well what I mean. I evade with small side steps or even a back roll and then immediately get back into the fight. Evade distance can really help and I really like it in Sunbreak specifically. Oh yeah, and always remember to bring at least some sort of sharpening skill. Switch X eats through any sharpness without any issue. I tend to use Master's Touch or Protective Polish. Both work really well actually. You spice it up with a ZSD here and there and combine that with Sunbreak Wyvern Blade to have minimal downtime of attacks, and that's pretty much the whole plan for hunting with switch eggs, roughly at least. The mastering part comes with learning to maintain the switch gauge and amp meter, as well as balancing your sword and axe mode for whatever the situation requires. Never stop learning and always try different things or playstyles. There is a lot of possibilities, and to end this video with another quote from an amazing master: if you're having fun, you're doing it right. Happy hunting, guys.